So stuff was in a certain place, and so on and so forth.
7 o'clock, June 12th, 2024. Call meeting to order. Item number 1 is minutes of May 28th.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of May 28th, 2020.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Number 2 is the warrants.
Make a motion to sign the warrants.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Financials.
Accept financials.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Department heads. Chief.
Not a whole lot since our last meeting. We're up to 176 calls. We had a meeting last Monday. I had some department members that was concerned about some more stuff on the fire station up there. So I brought the stuff that was listed down to Tammy, and I had Tammy contact Randy, and I think Tammy's gonna hit that on that later on in the meeting. So he's aware of the concerns, so hopefully we'll address them and go from there.
Look at that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Nothing over.
Other than that, I mean, I know there was talk about certain, I know Jeremy and probably some other ones want to meet with Randy, but I let Tammy handle that with Randy, how Randy felt about that, so. If Randy's more than willing to come up and talk to some of the members that have the concerns and explain what's going on, would be great, so. A lot of the stuff that we had discussed before, the first time we was up, was some of the same stuff that was brought up at the meeting this last Monday, so. I guess one of the things was like the holes up above the lights were kind of extreme for what the wire was coming down through, and Randy kind of agreed with that, so he was gonna.
And they were gonna make something to put it up in.
Right, yeah, it'd be a piece of metal. I told him that I thought, I mean, if they put just an electrical box up there with a cover would make it look somewhat more decent than big gaping hole that's up there. And I know some of the lights were rusted, which we discussed 2 meetings ago here, that we was gonna talk to Randy about, because water's been coming down through them, and the concerns of the water coming down. There's some insulation up there, it's not the blown insulation, it's just walkable insulation that's up there. Jeremy said he got up in there and picked it up and said there was water running out of it. I haven't been up there since, I think Brendan and I were up there, we were mowing, we walked in, they just started building the mezzanine walls. And I guess quite a bit of that's pretty much, quite a bit's much built now. And there's concern with the steps that's up there, how they were built. But like I said, Tammy's probably gonna hit more on that. She talked to Randy in between election yesterday, so.
Chief, how do you get up there to that little hole?
Is there any
Well, just a minute.
book?
There.
What?
I was just asking the chief about how you get up there. Do you go during the time that the crew's there, the construction company?
I don't know when he went up there. He really didn't say when and how and what day he went up in there.
Who,
I assume, I must have been after a call, that's the only thing I know of.
I go in after hours, you can walk around the fence, go in and look around and see what's there.
Right, but going up in the ceiling is.
Well, there's a step ladder on the mezzanine meeting, you just go up there and stick your head up through and put up the installation, it's that easy. And it's,
And there's still no, the roof's not finished. There's no ridge cap on it, so.
when it rains, it still rains in.
I mean, I know the weather hasn't been the greatest and for people to get stuff done, but.
Thought that they would have wanted to cover it up before
Right.
they did all that, but
And I know the last time we met with Randy, and I think, well, actually Bowman was here, they said they were gonna finish the roof up that weekend, and it didn't happen, but.
Yeah, it rained that whole week. Actually, when we went up and met, it was pouring that day.
Yep.
All what I know is when we went up there is Randy said if there's anything wet, they will make sure it's completely dry. Up there will be the last thing they do. They will blow in the insulation is what he told us that day at the end. If there is something wet up there, they're gonna take it out, they're gonna dry it, they will make sure it's dry. That's what he's told me. Now, I want the building to be perfect too, I totally get that, and the town actually, you know, they're not gonna sign off on anything. There's a lot of signatures all the way through. So they meet with Stacy and I, and they say this part is being done, and this part is being done. And then they'll send a bill, and we'll dispute things, like that day, we were up there just, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
They were gonna send a bill, and was disputing, the engineer was disputing the amount with Bowman on, I can't remember what it was $12,000.
It was an essential.
So what they do is, once they look at it, we look at it, see what's been done, and then sign. None of that's been done because it has not been approved through the engineer to do so. So for any final inspection or anything like that, that's gonna happen all the way through it. So if you do have concerns, of course they won't hear them. I've sent the whole list to him. He actually is up in Rangeley this week. He's hoping maybe to stop by maybe this week, but really depending on his schedule. He did go over these concerns, because I read them to him first and then I emailed them to him. So we had already discussed the attic thing. And then we discussed the bank out back. We were getting a price, and I did get a price for you guys. It's $4,500 to cut those trees down. And then they want to make the bank wrap around that way, is what they said. So, because my major concern was I didn't like how the bank looked from day one. And I told the engineers that from day one. So they are actually doing it, but we do have to cut the trees. So that's why I did get a price. I personally think that's high. I don't know, I'm not a tree cutter, so I don't know. I don't know, so I guess you guys tell me what you want to do, because we can get it done. They can't fix that till we remove all those trees.
Did they say how many trees there was?
We talked that day about cleaning up that whole
It's almost like
path
a
and a 20-foot swath
Right.
right up around, what, as if you're standing on the north side of the station by the propane tank.
Yeah.
That whole, that's like a
Swath
20-foot
around.
swath, like, needs to come down and needs to be
A little
regraded.
more gradual, yeah.
Yeah.
And the tree
like
guy
3 or 4
also
big
said there
ones.
was something on the back side too that he thought one of the big trees ought to come down.
Yeah.
So that's that piece. I don't know what you guys want to do with that piece of it, but
Yeah, I
we
know.
need to do something for them to be able to finish the bank and make it correct. I know Randy also said they were gonna be putting something on that part of the bank also, so that will be done, but probably won't be done till the end until we actually get the trees cut down, I guess. Unless there's somebody else you want me to get a price from.
Who did you get?
Carter Tree, I just.
Carter Tree,
Yeah.
where's that one?
That's in Athens.
Is it?
Oh, he's right up
Right
here.
up the hill, just.
I just went with a local person, that's what I did, but I
There's one, what's the one out past you on 27, as soon as you take a left? What is his name? Arbor Mountain? That, he's a good one.
Carter?
Arbor Mountain, yeah. He's really good.
Okay, so I can get another price if that's what you guys want me to do. I don't really know what the going
Yeah, I
price is,
know.
so I didn't want to
One of
lock
the other
anybody
ones-
into anything.
Jeremy,
Trees can
yeah, I
get
think, yeah, some of the other things was, some plywood in behind the back wall where we backed the trucks into, was gonna have a workbench.
Right,
There was a
And-
question on whether in the plans or not, there was supposed to be plywood or something in behind that.
right, and
Steel.
and when I talked to Randy yesterday, he said he will look at that when he comes up
Yeah.
and make sure there's plywood behind that. So they'll have to take it down and put plywood in, if they have not done so. I have not been back up there to see the interior
I'll
walls.
have to get back up, I'd like to go see the doors.
Randy had already addressed the seam on the roof with Bowman, because he didn't like the looks of it. They told him why they did it. He wasn't at the office when he called me yesterday, but he said he had it all written down. And he said we can discuss that when we meet with Bowman again, and if we want to do something, that's when.
It's almost like where they put 2 sheets together to finish that one running
And they
seam.
put a whole bunch of screws right down through the roof. A ton of them. You drive by, you can see it, they screwed it right in the flat spots. Like, I thought this was supposed to be standing seam and no hole.
Yeah,
What side of it?
North side that I saw. And the other I have one question. Do we have a book telling us what was supposed to be done in this fire station? Being on the building committee, we never got anything finalized as to, all right, this is gonna be done, this is gonna be done. Like a fire truck, when you build it, you go right down to the nut and bolt.
Well, yeah, there was the bid that they bid on a certain
Certain
spec.
plans, yeah.
So that's, that,
We, as the building committee, never got that particular spec, so we can read it and watch as
Is
it's
that
being
right?
done.
Wasn't Jeremy here when, we did that last plan? I thought a bunch of you guys were the other
Yeah,
one.
you was.
So they have, Jeremy has what the building is supposed
I
to.
don't know, I know I have one in my office.
Yeah, I thought everybody
I
grabbed,
think you've
I thought we made a
had
couple
plans that
sets.
you've looked at on different pages, and I think I have a big, the big one. But when it went out to bid, there were certain specs that they were supposed to do.
Right.
And that's what they bid on, so that's what's actually,
I
contract.
I understand that, but I'd like to see that so that when you drive by, you can say, okay, they're doing this, or they're not doing this. I mean, I can buy and look periodically.
right,
I mean, nobody's ever there when I go by to
Cause I thought we had
work.
like two, like, we made a bunch of copies when everybody was here on the, pretty much when
I
Jeremy
would
was
have
going
to,
down.
I can get something from
Yeah,
Randy, because
yeah.
Randy would have it.
Okay, just,
But,
just.
and that's why your engineer is really overseeing it, he truly is. I know you guys might not all see him there, but he is, for instance, DEP, and I was gonna tell you guys this later, DEP was called in on that fire station, I had to deal with DEP yesterday. They were questioning if the town had done what they were supposed to do on the soil testing, and so on, which I showed him that, yes, we hired someone to soil test, yes, we went through environmental review, with the federal grant, yes, we put it in the paper, yes, I waited 18 days after, there was no response, so the town did everything we were
In
supposed
the
to.
barrier, the plastic barrier.
Yeah, and then they wanted to know if we had put, the bait barrier in under the slab.
There was a yellow plastic,
And
something.
so your engineer is taking pictures all the way,
Yep.
all the way through. He was there when it was poured. So I called the engineer to get
The picture.
the picture to show DEP that it is in there. So I will say they do have the records. I don't have all the records, but we can certainly get them anytime you guys want. So I do believe DEP is satisfied with all this stuff.
Yes, about the override, so.
Yep, and we already had that done. And they did want me, they said, well, and what's his name, Craig?
Craig Wilson.
Craig Wilson. He's already been out there, looked at the old garage, gave us a report, and they want a copy of the report just to make sure when we tear the old garage, the old fire station, I should call it garage, down, that we had already done that, and we have already done that, and we met what we were supposed to. And I do know, I mean, as far as the contractor, they're used to dealing with engineers on a commercial building, so that's what they do. And that's what we're actually paying the engineers to do, to make sure to cover us, to make sure that they are gonna handle and give us the product that we want. And I'm in agreement with you, we need to make sure all the specs are met. And I'll be on Randy, you guys can be on the chief, and we'll get, she handed it to me yesterday morning, it was for Randy within 10 minutes. So things do go wrong in construction, I'm not gonna make any excuse for them, but they do go wrong, and I would let your engineer go up and look and make him correct it. Because that's really who needs
It's
to correct it.
technically on his shoulders, so.
Right, because there's a bond and everything out
Yep.
there, so,
But it's still a work in progress.
it is, a lot of it is a work in progress.
They may not have this thing done, but they plan on doing it after they get this thing down.
Right, he did tell me that with the stairs, he says the stairs are not finished. And they wouldn't secure things down and stuff until they got it done. So, I did have a concern with, any water too, and we'll make sure he did tell us that will be the very last thing that's done in that building. I don't know if there's anything else. He did say how it's connected to the hose washer. He says there's a line already under the floor.
It is.
Is what he told me.
And it comes up over by where the hydrant is. It comes up, I don't know, 2-3 feet from there,
Okay,
because they have to put a backflow prevention device in there
okay.
to feed that.
So I don't know, what that question was. He did ask me, didn't understand stair risers are way over top. And he's gonna go look.
Jeremy tried to explain it to me, because like I said, I hadn't been up there. It's almost like when they put the boards down, they just ran a skill saw right straight through it instead of like running the blade so far, then taking a sawzall and cutting so much off. He said there wasn't much meat in there. I said, I have no idea. I said, I'd have to go out and look at it.
Well, the stairs probably aren't finished though. Those might be like something to get them up. And then they're gonna come in and probably put the finish
Right.
over it, is what I would think.
Yeah.
But I don't know that for sure, but that's.
I'm sure there's a method to the madness, but.
Well, if it's only temporary, they're not gonna build it 100%.
Right, exactly, yeah.
They're gonna wait till they're all done and put what needs to be in there permanently, and then, instead of put it in now and stake it all up. Then they're gonna put it-
And so the suction in the gear room, he was gonna look into that. And he said the ductwork was supposed to be all the way over. Don't quote me on the back wall, I guess, I don't know. So he's gonna look at that when he gets up there too. So that's what he's told me. He's hoping that one of these days this week he will be coming back from Rangeley and come through. It'll be on the fly, I never know when he's coming.
That's all I care about. You can look at them and.
And I can actually, if you guys want, have him write an answer to each one of these, so we have it in writing that this is what we asked for and this is what you told us. So at the end of this is what we expect for you to do to us.
Trouble with some of it is, it's covered up, you don't know if it's there or not. You know, it's like the plywood on the sides of the building underneath the steel. From what I've been told from Jeremy, it was supposed to come up 6 inches off the floor and be an 8-foot strip.
No, that's not correct. If you actually read the plan, because we went over that with him, and the plan was not that. The plan was where you guys were gonna hang things, and the, what do you wanna call it, strapping was down from there. Because I asked him that question, and he said no, and he pulled the plan right out when we were there, and he said.
Well, those are the things that I don't know, I got nothing in writing, so I can't,
Right,
I don't know.
yep, so I'll get you a copy of that. He'll have to send that to me.
That's some of the biggest concerns I had tonight. I want to make sure it got addressed. And
Okay.
it's in Randy's hands pretty much. It's his shoulders.
Thank you. Any questions?
Is the new truck done, all outfitted?
It's in service.
They're driving it
We keep having a little bit of leaks here and there, antifreeze leaks, and what it is from when the truck heats up and cools off. Radiator clamps are loosened up a little bit and they have to go in and tighten them up. Speaking of leaks, I was informed that Engine 83 up in the north has developed a oil pan leak. So it's leaking some oil. But this week, starting all the trucks again, going over to get service over it.
There, you know.
Yes, thank you. So he's gonna look at it and see if he can get an oil pan gasket and do it while it's over there. We got a little.
It may be just loose. 'Cause
That's what I'm hoping, yeah.
It's right between, I found it when we were on that truck roll.
That's what
over
they
there,
said.
and It's very possible that if they just tighten it,
Yeah.
because it's right where the two things come together.
Yeah, so.
So has the new truck been used?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. People have been driving it, just need to get more people in it and get more comfortable with it.
Everybody's pleased. So far.
So far.
Chief, I've also seen that you have some, one of the officers had a water training,
Yep.
Thing that's coming up.
Yep.
Is this new or?
It's the same one that Andy and Lance went to last year, and we were gonna try to get more people on the department certified, instead of having just those two people that's able to do it. So we're running a snafu because even though we got a grant through the Ed McDonald grant to pay for a scholarship for people, we need at least 30 people for the instructor to come up from New Hampshire to do it. Right now, we only have 4. So now we've opened it up to all the area departments, hoping that we can get a little bit of more people.
Is that the water training we were supposed to have? So there's only 4 of us? I thought there was,
Right now, only 4 people signed up. It's you, Carrie, Richard, and
oh, okay, I was gonna say, 'cause I thought there was a bunch of us.
Andre, no. Young Caldwell, I
Yeah.
think.
And then is Andrew and Lance involved, well, it's Lance's project,
Yeah, he started it and trying to,
6 people, how many, call firemen there are? 14, 15, 18?
well, guys, we got at least almost 20 people on our roster.
Wow, and there's only 4 people, 6 people that signed up, that's.
It's a pretty,
It's
it's
pretty
a pretty in-depth
extensive
thing.
training.
It's gonna be a 18-hour day, I think it is.
Yeah, and
One
you're,
day, and then the next day's 12.
I mean, there's people, like we
Well, it's gonna be
explained it.
very beneficial, I mean.
Oh, I know, it's
Right,
like,
but it's time you gotta take away from your family and,
yeah, and like Daryl says at a meeting, he says, you don't have to be in the water part of it. If you learn about the ropes and the knots and
Right.
staying on the boat and stuff like that, then people are like, oh, maybe I can do that. So we portrayed that again on Monday night and hopefully maybe that's people will.
So what happens, because we do have that scholarship, I think it's up to $3,000.
Yeah. I know.
So if we don't get enough from this department, can we share that with another
I don't
department?
see, we'd have to call somebody and see if we can. I mean,
Because it's too bad to lose it.
oh, I know, yeah.
I don't know how that works.
We'd have to call down and ask because, I mean, I would assume they would pay for any firefighter even though it's not. an
Well, I think what's
firefighter.
gonna happen is we're gonna submit them a bill for so many and they're gonna reimburse the town.
I mean, I think, because we have mutual aid agreements, so I think it would cover another, I mean, I think Lance put it out for at least whole Somerset County area fire department, so
Nobody from Madison or surrounding.
nothing yet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Barry?
Well, we got the grade back, and I started working on the hot top road shoulders, and we've got some of the good dirt roads touched up, smoothed up here and there. Going from the worst to the least worst. And we started screening some sand. I've got both quotes back on the graders for Cat. Tammy's got them there with the finance and everything. And the John Deere's pretty close to $100,000 cheaper than the Cat.
Yeah, the John Deere is $347,856 for 6 years.
Yep,
And what's the other one?
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar, sorry. Is $420,400 for 9 years.
Yep. So they're both identical machines. I mean, size-wise and everything. It's just the name is different, that's all. And like John Deere allowed us $50,000 for our grader. Cat would only allow us $40,000. But back in 2022, when I had that appraised, it was only appraised at $69,000 in 2022. So it is running good right now, but I just don't think we ought to drag a feet.
Yeah. Get rid of it. Oh, it's ridiculous.
The John Deere's touch base with me when I get back off from vacation, and they're gonna bring a demo up for me to take and try out, so. I mean, they're both gonna be brand new, they both got a 3-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, and the John Deere's, like I said, I've never run a Cat, I've run John Deere and the Volvo either. The only Cat I run was a F12. Well, that was ancient, but I would say if we decide to do this, we would go with the John Deere. That's how my feelings are. But I really don't think we ought to take a leap. I mean, last time it broke down, and then it was running good, and then something else happened, and I've been without the grader since February 12th. I just got it back last Thursday, so. This International sold the checks in the bank, the old 4R dump truck. We got what we asked for, 40,000. I went with insurance adjuster today through all the pump stations. He seemed to be okay with that. He took a bunch of pictures and whatnot. Everything was okay there. Pump stations are all running good, a little bit high just because of the rain and stuff we've had.
Is that the temporary one, Toddy? That's not-
Pump station 3 is still temporary. They haven't got all the
Yeah,
parts for the panels and
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So do we know when that's gonna be?
It's supposed to be, he thought it was gonna be here in June, so.
Because MMA is having me submit the Hussey bills and Jason Thomas.
Yep, those,
So the town will get reimbursed on that, but I still need to hold out for
Tim, the
Tim
Stevens
Stevens.
Electric. Yep.
And then that would be the last thing to come on the insurance.
Yep. The new 1 ton that I looked at down at O'Connor's, should we post the pictures of it?
I got it right here.
Okay.
It's red.
Jack said that the price on that would be good until around the middle of July. So,
So what did you talk about?
yep.
Yeah, and that's the picture of it.
Thank you.
And he's looked at the 1 ton, and he figured that should be worth between 8,000 and 10,000 for the.
And this one comes with a plow.
Yep. Yep.
So are we trading the old 1 ton in, or are we selling it?
No, I'm gonna.
We're selling it.
No, we're gonna take.
We're gonna trade it.
Yep. He said he'd take and help us get rid of it. So.
And are we putting 40,000 now on that one?
Mhm.
I just want to make sure.
Yep.
You got all my brain.
Well, that's what we had talked about
Yeah,
last time.
I just.
The track list, that's all the good stuff. The track list, the broom, CV joint on the track list is what runs the broom from the PTO shaft. Well, that broke last week when we were sweeping the hot top off up on Horseback. And for a new one, because it busted a year right off it, a new one's 1,300 and change, and it's 4 to 6 weeks out for a dry stack. Used broom, I talked to 2 different places. One was between 2,500 and 3,000, the other one told me between 2,500 and 3,500 for a used broom. And I found another track list. It's 2001, it's got around 2,500 hours on it, 8,000 something miles. It's the same motor and everything, but we got now is it's a 2001. It's got a snow blower, broom, sander, mow machine, V-plow, and all-in plow. Plus a set of fat tires that goes on it for 8,000. So, I talked to the guy down in Limerick who we bought ours from, and he said that if you was to go buy that like from him or any other dealer, you'd probably pay up to 15,000 better for it with all the attachments. So, it's a really good buy. Yeah, it's having a second one, but when you look at the price of it, why, just the implements alone that we have to buy them for ours is gonna be more than what we're paying for the whole, all this stuff. So,
Is that what you're gonna pay?
if we took the 8,000 out of the 40,000, and then took the 1 ton and put it with the 40,000,
Oh, okay.
you're gonna have your 40,000 plus.
That would work.
So take the 8,000 out of the 40,000, trade the 1 ton in, and it'll make up the difference, and we're putting 40,000 in.
Yep.
I just wanna make sure when I do the finance piece, I go.
Well, and I didn't tell you this time, but I can rent a broom, because I need the broom when we're doing the paved shoulders. Because I don't care how good you are, you're gonna get dirt on the road, you're gonna get it swept back off. I don't see it out on a piece of road, because it just can't help it. So, I can rent a broom for $500 a month. Well, some weeks I might have 2 days I can work on the tar road, some weeks I might only have a day. And it's gonna take a long time, and we gotta start doing the roadside mowing. And to swap those back and forth, you're talking around 3 hours, 3.5 hours every time you swap. So if you put the mower on in the morning, you gotta take it off in the afternoon, you're only gonna get probably 2 or 3 hours in the morning. Then you gotta start swapping back to the broom. So if we did have a spare one, then you'll be able to do 2 functions at once.
So the same machines doing winter work and summer work.
Mhm. It's the same as what we got right now, only it's a little bit older.
So is that something we can make a motion on? I'll make a motion to do what you said.
Second, no brainer.
And that's not,
Moved and seconded to buy
Trackers.
a trackless machine, and take $8,000 out of the $40,000 that we got from the, and we're still getting the extra part, but if you're still ordering the part, you need to be able.
The $1,500 piece, that way they will have 2 brooms. But it's 4 to 6 weeks out at least.
Right,
so-
no, right.
Yep.
right. Any further discussion? All those in favor? 4-0.
Now that, we gotta have a special town meeting for that 1 ton that we talked about last time. Do you think it'd be possible to put the graders or grader on the same special town meeting? I just wanna see how you guys felt about that.
It's possible. We're gonna talk a little more.
What's that?
We gotta discuss it a little bit more, maybe.
Yep. Well,
Before something else happens,
I just thought,
that's how that works.
Seems to be doomed, that poor thing.
So when we buy the grader, it's the payment next year,
mhm,
so I don't have to find money this year.
no, that's,
It's a year out.
right.
How long would it take to get it?
They got one in Westbrook. The down payment of the grader is gonna be the first payment. So next year will be the first payment we have to raise money for.
At next year's town meeting
Right.
in March.
The interest rate's pretty much the same on both of these.
That seems to be the equipment rate right now.
Right now. Snag it quick.
This week. No, it's been for a few weeks.
so Tammy, how much would the payment be on that one?
They haven't given me the finance payments on it yet. If you look at that, you guys have it.
Well, try.
Yes,
I have the, for what?
Where-
John Deere.
John Deere.
What's the
So look
payment?
way in the back, I think.
yeah, I think it's on the last page, yeah.
What are you looking for?
Payment,
Payment for 6 years, right?
yeah.
Maybe it's on the front page.
72.
72?
72 months.
Right, I don't know, all right. We don't know.
if you go into town meeting, I would suggest we write the warrant up not to exceed a certain amount, and then let the financial piece play in. So then you're covered, because I don't know if that says how much the interest is on.
The John Deere didn't have an interest rate.
Would be around 6,000 a month, so that's just ballpark figure.
I mean, I can call him tomorrow.
What do I know?
I know the cat was,
I don't see it. We don't want to talk about that, I might need readers, so. You guys are up, bring it up.
They're probably dirty.
Let's shut the camera off. I'm just kidding.
Well, with my contacts, and I didn't see it on there, so.
I didn't see it, but.
Okay, good. Okay, moving right along.
So I was gonna suggest July 9th for a special town meeting, just because I'm trying to lock the price in on that one time. Or you guys tell me when you want it, and I'll have the warrant, because I can't even do that, yeah. We have another meeting in June for you guys to sign the warrant, and then I gotta have so many days to post it. So,
So first, a motion by John D. Grader. Make a motion by John D. Grader.
Second.
Moved and seconded, and subject to the plan that is in place.
yeah.
Further discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. And then the special town meeting on July 9th at 6 o'clock
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Motion for that?
Make a motion to have a special town meeting on July 9th.
Moved and seconded. And there's other thing, that's the only two things.
I have not gone through those ordinances, so I'm not gonna suggest you put them on unless you guys have,
No?
I haven't had a chance, so I don't wanna put them on there without having read everything. Unless there's anything else you guys want on a special town meeting.
All those in favor? 4-0. Anything else?
The paving bill for Campground Road, I just emailed that to Clean Energy today, so they're gonna take care of that, so that's all it's got.
So the culvert in the East Hill Road, that we was gonna replace,
I still have it.
there's not another hole,
Yeah,
right in the wheel track.
that's on the list. This
So
summer.
you think we get that replaced this summer?
I'm hoping to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or at least a bucket full of something in the hole?
Yeah, well, it was out patching, paving, we'll patch it today until.
I have some big rocks out behind my house. Just a thought.
So we got that little shower that we got.
Is that one of the ones on FEMA?
Nope, that's,
That's not.
well, there's another grant too for,
Yeah,
but that,
that's the July 1st grant.
right, so we can put that one in the July 1st grant, along with some other ones I thought of today, on Holloway.
Oh, you're leaving tomorrow, I gotta have this stuff.
Before July 1st, I thought that was July 15th.
The road one's July 15th, the culvert one's July 1st.
Well, I guess I
And you know, I don't have a lot.
Change plans.
Just send me the list and I'll type it up, I guess.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Questions? Yes. I found it interesting, the way you're doing the sides of the roads.
Mhm.
To me, it appears that the grade is higher now than it was before you did anything to it, on some of the roads.
Yeah, that's because I fucked it up, and that sod and stuff that's out on the edge, when I get back, that'll be rotted and dried out some.
So
I
you're not done
No.
working on that? Okay.
No, and when you reclaim it like that, unless you got a roller that you can have go right behind you,
Yeah.
why, that's what happens. You gotta take and work it, and then let it set and rot down, and then you take and work it again. The next time I take and work it, I'll be able to take and lay it out, and then I'll take and tread it.
So as far as what's on my lawn,
Mhm.
on the other property, can I take that off, and you want me to leave it alone?
No, if you want it, you can take it.
Okay, because I mean, if you're gonna use it, if you're gonna do something with it there, I'll leave it
Yeah,
alone.
no,
Just
no,
my wife's after me because it's grass growing up around
yeah.
it. She likes mowing lawns and there's grass growing up. No, but seriously though, I mean,
If I could have done it 2 weeks prior to when I started, when it was really dry and whatnot, why, then right now it would be all done.
have you done it that way before?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, just never noticed it.
About 10 years ago.
Oh, probably why I didn't care that. I was off in Nebraska or something, so. Yeah, okay, yeah, I just found it interesting the way that you did
But
it.
if you notice where all the washouts was, and I harrowed it,
Yeah.
pulled it in, now there's little fingers, but there's no washouts.
Right.
So that, it is higher out there, but the water can still get off in little crevices and not run 1,000 feet before it has to get off.
Have you gotten any complaints about some of the roads that you,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I noticed Grow Hills, and then there's a couple others that are.
I ain't got nothing on Quill Hill.
No.
No, but when I get all done, I'm gonna put gravel over the top of it to bring that up where it's
Okay.
supposed to be.
Okay.
No, they've been, some of the neighbors, neighbors, they just start screaming before they let you do anything, or they
Yeah.
give you the finger gesture.
Well, I didn't mean them particularly, I meant, because there was some
No.
places that worked that did get dug up and others that didn't. So
Yeah.
I was just wondering why the difference. Just,
Well, one of the places that didn't get dug up was because someone stood there and pointed me to go on the other side of the road and wouldn't let me.
right, no, and I understand that place,
Yeah.
I understand that, but there were other places that,
Yeah, and,
where driveways or roads, even older roads, that there's a berm there now, but yet other driveways and
Right.
roads, there wasn't.
yeah, and I didn't do it the whole length of it because it didn't need it everywhere.
Right. Just curious, it wasn't a, anything other than curious.
Yeah.
Okay. So, So Darrell is here for the sidewalk? That's what we're,
I was told to be here, yeah, I'm here.
so I guess, well, Aaron, you guys go look at those spots?
I give Daryl pictures and told him about them.
Yeah. There are some of them that were done exclusively by us, which is by the library, which was, I can't remember if it was last year or this spring. Down by the fire station in Main Street, that was done this year during the 2-foot snowstorm, the one in March. And I hear about them within 15 minutes or less when they happen. Calls me up personally. And we do not do this on purpose. This year has been a snowplow season from you know where. And I'm sorry. Like I said, we don't do it on purpose. And we had this discussion when we accepted the contract about this specifically. And I just, and then I was reading some of the estimate descriptions. Deteriorated curbing, deteriorated sidewalk. Some of these sidewalks are not in the best of shape to begin with. Some, I'm not saying all, just there are some. And you know, I don't know what to tell you, other than we do not do it on purpose.
Oh, I'm not gonna think you do that.
I mean, it's, you know, we did get a lot of real estate in a lot of other places. But all I can say is I'm sorry. We, you know, in the contract, we're responsible for mailboxes, and I made it really, really clear when we took that plow bid over this, because this was discussed heavily, and I was gonna withdraw my bid if I was liable for curbing or sidewalks. I don't get enough money. That's, the price that's here is half of what I get paid in a year. I mean, if you want me to be liable for sidewalks, we can do a different bid if you want. And this is the same conversation we had two years ago, I think, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's on the back page of the contract, it does say, let's say back page. It does say sidewalks in North Anson, any damages to mailbox from the contractor must be fixed by the contractor. That's what you guys instructed to put it in at the last contract. So that is what was put in there in 2022. I think you guys all know.
So, just mailboxes.
That's what you guys told me to put in from the meeting that
That
you
we
guys
had.
had.
Right. There are some, I can go through them all the pictures. I don't know if you guys have pictures or not.
I haven't seen it.
Some of a lot of the curbing damage could have been done by, usually if we get a curbing, it's not there when we're done. It's gone. A lot of the
The
curbing,
one in front of the motorcycle shop is a pain, because you gotta push all the snow up on there to pile it in there.
yeah,
And
I personally didn't look at it, I took, someone calls from up there, and I give it to Artie. Artie has gone out and took pictures.
yeah. And
the one in front of the fire station,
you couldn't
there
see
was
it
so
for
much
2 feet of
snow
snow.
and.
It is, it's a pain to plow around, but state's specifications says they have to.
There shouldn't be any
Right.
curbing on the fire station side, period.
Agree with that, I'm sorry.
Or even up by the church parking lot. Even none of them.
That one was,
Well,
Some
the
tier-
to a big extent.
But that's due to the entrance being so big that they're only entitled to have a certain size entrance, so you have to put curbing and sidewalk in there to make sure it's that size entrance. That's due to the state.
And they're gonna have to redo in front of the fire station all the way down through. When they change the fire station, it's all gonna be different.
Yeah, and then when the fire station's finally done, the curbing and the sidewalk have to come up in front of it, but that,
will it go to the pole there?
I believe, well, I don't know what the layout of the fire station is going to be,
We're going to
Right.
DOT.
yeah, the utilities guy.
Fight the curbing all you can.
Have you guys got the entrance permit for your fire station?
I
The
doubt it.
building committee?
I doubt it. There was an entrance
No.
there.
None of that stuff was taken care of when you decided to build the building? So I guess probably we ought to talk to the utilities person about that too. We're gonna have to have an entrance permit for the fire station so they can enter the road there too. And they'll tell us what we can have and what we can't have.
Okay,
That'd be the same guy.
do we
Utilities.
have a name?
No, because the guy that was there got done, so this is a different guy now. I'll call the Dixfield office tomorrow and get a name.
Okay.
Methodist Church in North Anson going down Madison Street.
Yeah.
No, Madison Street.
Madison
Oh,
Street.
okay, right, yeah. And there was never any curb there across from the,
That was Main Street across from the old fire station. There was some curbing there, it's in the parking lot.
Is that
That's what happens when we get it, unfortunately. And the trouble with it is, if it's at least frozen a tiny bit, you can feel it and you can go over it. But when, like March, when that 2-foot snowstorm came, there was no frost in the ground, anywhere. And you don't feel the curb.
But you know the curb is there.
What?
You've been doing it for years, so you know the curb is there.
Okay, you got 2 feet of snow on the ground, and you know it's there, yes, but when it's old like it is,
You touch it and it's so brittle that it just falls apart. Would you, I can lift the plow before I get there and leave stone in the road.
Well, it's better than destroying curbing. I mean,
But then the town calls, and the people call the town a crab because the sidewalks aren't cleared right off smooth and bad,
yes, that happens too.
frequent.
just who owns that property that all this debris is
You
on?
do.
We do.
Yeah.
That's a town parking lot.
That's a town property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Where the old bank, no, not the old bank, the old, used to be Belcher's store.
yep, yep.
It's right straight across from the fire station. The old fire station.
This one is kind of dumbfounded, where's that?
I gotta get closer, I can see. Sorry.
Is that the old sanitary district? Side,
I don't have that picture. Y'all
Different
just
angle.
that one. That's not anything we looked at.
Beautiful picture.
Those are the old. They don't even look familiar.
Sure it's the town of Anson?
Yeah,
These are the ones that you gave me.
yeah,
That one?
that's up by
Sweeney's.
Sweeney's.
I have that one.
That's the corner of Fair Pond Road.
I have that one.
This is in front of the
Oh,
fire
there we go.
station on
That
the,
one,
That's up there by.
the apartment building above CCS.
Yep.
that one.
And this is by the library.
Library.
That's all I got. I don't know what that one is,
So, you know,
What's the other one?
but I don't even recognize it.
I don't have that one. I don't have the library one.
no,
There's the library.
You want me to?
Oh, this one.
Like great eyesight.
Yeah, there you go.
that,
You didn't have this? You didn't have this? You didn't have this back.
so I guess it's not much.
I don't know what that is.
You want these?
no idea.
Okay. You didn't recognize it either?
No, 'cause
I didn't
I
know.
I'll look on my computer tomorrow, I don't even know where that picture came
Maybe
from.
it's a female picture.
Huh?
Maybe it's a female picture.
Oh,
That could be.
Well, I guess we just want to bring you aware of it.
Like I said, I get a phone call usually before the blade goes down again,
yep.
no matter where I am.
We hope for a colder winter.
Yep.
Would be nice.
How much is the total cost of the piece?
6340. And it's something that we have to get fixed because it's a hazard.
And the curbing has to go back up.
Well,
That's what helps on the sidewalk.
I just don't know.
well, if it didn't go back up, the state probably isn't gonna say anything right off. But, I don't know, I know how it's worked in the past. That one right on the corner of across from the fire station where the parking lot is. That would be a good one to smooth out and ramp it up. That would
Is
be.
there a culvert there?
Is that possible to get that
I
allowed
gotta
out?
talk to the state, because that would be considered an entrance, so. They
Well, they're
have,
gonna say-
they're very particular on how many entrances they have come into a highway. So I'll have to run that by that utilities coordinator when he comes over and looks at the fires.
Except up here at Casey's, where 400 feet you drive into the road.
Yep, yep, and that's why we had to put that curb in front of Casey's new building,
Which is,
Oh, that's right too, yeah.
but,
That's a
because
pain in the end.
I don't like
that, it was too wide of a
it.
entrance.
Right.
So you had to narrow it up, so there's only a small entrance. What as far as so people can't go in there and do a U-turn and come right back out? You know,
Anything else? Thank you, Bill. Tammy?
Alright. So we had the election yesterday and the school budget passed. So just, you know, we just set the July 9th meeting, so I guess we'll do that. Did you guys look at any of the ordinances or?
I looked at some.
No, I
You have not, okay. So I'm hoping I'll get to them and then maybe next meeting we can discuss them a little bit. It's not something we have to, some people want me to put more of a rush on it because of the methadone clinic that's going over in Madison. And they want to make sure that we are already in the process of taking care of that, so nothing happens by any school or anything.
get one over there, there should be one over here.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting one.
The one right here on this corner.
So that is the intent of that, but I'll bring it to the next meeting once I go over them. I just haven't had a chance yet. I am meeting with FEMA tomorrow morning. They have approved, payment of $120,000 for our December storm,
the first December one.
for the project, right, December 22. So we're finally getting that money, checks in the mail.
Sure.
But I did get the big thing that it was obligated and the check is now being processed. So that means Lima okayed the total amount, FEMA okayed it, and now we're ready and we'll receive a check.
So the check's not in the mail.
It is, it really truly is. So, once it gets to that point, we're really getting it.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's good news, so that one's being done. We're still working on, what is it, the storm drain on Madison Street. That'll be the last one for the December 22. We're almost there, meeting with TD tomorrow and we'll see if we're ready to push that on to the next level. And then when you get back, you're gonna be starting to work on the May storm. And we're kind of waiting for some of this money to funnel back into us, so then we can start working on that. And the May storm had a lot of mitigation in it.
Yep.
For your culverts and stuff, so that one will be a lot bigger. But that one's coming, so we are getting there. We have been getting reimbursed by MMA on the sewer. So once this warrant is signed, I'm gonna submit those bills that are in there for Hussey and stuff. And Jason Thomas for doing the work he did, and then we'll get reimbursed from them on that. So it's really get a pay for it to get reimbursed. So that's, is going pretty well. We did get the ATV grant for $45,000 this year. So we just got approved on that one. So that one's all set to roll and manage that one. This fire station grant is gonna trigger its own audit,
It's on one.
its own single audit. So we need to gear up for that. I have spoke to the auditors. They are working on our audit. They are working on the gas fee piece right now. And hopefully I have it soon. But they are working on our audit. I guess that's all I have on that. Yep, I guess that's all we have. Oh, no. So after the last meeting, Highway did have some issues with, the folks that were here. Harassment order was, cease harassment notice was served on them by the sheriff's department, and that covers all town employees for the town of Anson. I received a call from the sheriff today, on complaining about our highway guys again. So it's just gonna go back and forth. They have requested a copy of the minutes, assuming they'll be in my office tomorrow morning to pick them up. But just to let you know that, they called the sheriff's department on us today. We hadn't done anything, but, flipping it over, I guess, is what they're saying. So I think that's gonna continue. And you guys all have a copy of the order, so that does include you guys if there's something going on. That's all I have.
Questions for Dan? Did you mention fire department, firehouse grant money?
Oh, yeah, I'm working on it. I got halfway through the,
I didn't know whether you mentioned it, because I'm still fuming about other things, so.
no, I didn't. I'm at the stage now that we're in it. I've submitted, to get reimbursed for the engineer fees. I chose that one first because it's very easy. There's one invoice. It's let me put it in, and I wanna see how far I can get. I got as far as downloading the invoice, and they wanted it in a certain format, so I put it in that format. And now I've sent it through, and so now I'm waiting for it to say they received it, which has been 2 days. And then I will go in and click on that so I can certify it. And then it's gonna be kicked back to me to approve it, and then it gets kicked back to HUD, for them to approve it, and then they'll have me sign off on it. And that will be the first invoice we've done. So I'm trying the easiest invoice instead of giving them multiple ones from Bowman and everything, because I want to see how long it's going to take and what it entails. And then I'm going to hit on the rest of them. But knowing how
Tedious.
it is with HUD, I'm trying to do the easiest one first to get it through. So we are doing it, it's just takes a little bit.
Thank you. Selectmen concerns? So, yes, question for you. With the second machine that we're buying, what will it cost us to take care of North Anson?
Depending on the snowstorm, we're talking about tops of 2 hours to snowboard.
And that's all they're dealing with? Is
The sidewalks in these 2 streets, plus the fire station, and that parking lot across the road there. So, like, to do the sidewalks, down here, and I got about the same footage what he has now, because I have it in the room by the school. It takes me a half hour to 45 minutes. That big storm, it took me an hour and a half to do the sidewalks, for the snowball. And like those streets, Water Street and the other street across the road there, Court Street, those could be done with a snowball because they're not real wide. It'd take like 4 passes to do this, do the side, the roads. And as far as the fire station, why, Adam could probably plow that with a truck if we had to. Or I can go up with my pickup as that goes in, just go back up later with the bucket loader when the storm's done. So I'd have to sit down crunch some numbers.
Would you please?
Yep, yep.
When does that contract come due? But they're
2027.
27.
Oh,
But there
can
is,
get
there
out.
is a clause in there that we can
Right.
get out anytime with 14-day notice. For any reason.
termination notice, right?
Because it's costing us $6,000 to fix what was done, so. If we can keep it from happening again, then it's well worth it, depending on your numbers.
Yep.
All set? All set. Public session? Number 7? You gotta have something sometime. We don't need to do anything.
Make a motion to go to executive session to pursue the legal 1 MRSA 40560.
Second.
Move to second. Move to discussion. All in favor? Executive session at 8:06.